We meet today in freedom's cause and raise our voices high. We join our hands in union song to battle or to die. Hold the fort, for we are coming. Union is the strong. Side by side, we battle onward. Victory will come. Yes, and long, yes, and long the battle raging, but we never fear. Help will come. Help will come, and help is needed. Share my comrades, share. Hold the fort, for we are coming. Union makes me strong. Side by side, side by side, we battle onward. Victory will come. When those who labor hold the reins of power. When those who labor hold the reins of power. Oh, I will like to be in that number. When those who labor hold the reins of power. When those who labor hold the reins of power. When those who labor hold the reins of power. Oh, I will like to be in that number. When those who labor hold the reins of power. When you shall not be, we shall not be moved. We shall not be moved just like a tree that's planted by the waters. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved. We shall not be, we shall not be moved just like a tree that's planted by the waters. We shall not be moved. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. For deep in my heart, that I do believe we shall overcome someday. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. For deep in my heart, that I do believe we shall overcome someday. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Our union makes us strong. Oh, we will keep on struggling until we get a better day. We will keep on struggling until we get a better day. We will keep on struggling until we get a better day. Our union makes us strong. Solidarity, solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Our union makes us strong. 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 Nice. All right. So the mood has been good and properly set. We can start now. All right. So, comrades, let us not forget why we are here. Today is the 30th of November. This is the day that this country made the worst economic decision probably in its history. to close the refinery and to close the fields. Right? 7 years would we have suffered. And I want to make one point before we start here. One very important point. We have faced governments and we have removed governments.
True.
We have faced critics and we have pushed them aside.
True.
We have faced attacks, ridicule, sometimes from our very own members.
True.
But this union stands strong still.
Come on.
Right? We have a golden opportunity to correct the errors of the past. We have that opportunity now.
Yes, President.
Do we look to our government to do it for us?
No.
Do we look to the business community to do it for us?
No.
There's only one body in Trinidad and Tobago that fights for the interests of the working class.
President.
And let us not allow these various institutions to divide us. Because it is clear for all to see, if it wasn't for the action of the Oilfield Workers Trade Union, this refinery would not have had a future.
Tell them, President.
If it wasn't for the action of the Oilfield Workers Trade Union, God forbid, the PNM might have still been in power.
True.
And if it wasn't for the action of the Oilfield Workers Trade Union, the working class of Trinidad and Tobago would be bawling and screaming and without hope at this point in time.
True, President.
So as we welcome the speakers to the floor, I want us to tell ourselves that for the union to be great, while yes, there are many things that we could do on our own, we need the support of our members.
Yes.
For the powers that be to see the strength of the union and to see the unity behind the union, we need the support of our members. Never underestimate the importance of coming out and showing your union that support. It gives us strength to face the fight ahead, knowing that we have persons behind us who are supporting us in our cause. Do not let the political divisions divide you.
True.
All right, so as I finish my opening remarks, I would like to welcome to the floor our leader, the goodly honorable Comrade Ansel George.
Thank you, Comrade Jackman, Chairman of this historic meeting here this afternoon. This is a union meeting here this afternoon, and we want to do union things here this afternoon.
Yeah, man.
There are quite a number of very important announcements we want to make here this afternoon. But before we do that, I want to take you down a journey, a short journey of history. But before I even do that, I want to recognize in our presence here this afternoon two comrades. Two comrades who, in the heat of the attack, was sent on a mission. And a little bit later on, we will unfold what that mission was. But the two comrades who took that assignment seriously, so serious that they were successful in their mission. I want to first of all observe our comrade, brother and dear friend, Comrade Clyde Elder. And people are here. And the fight has just begun.
A wee boy.
No stranger to us, a member of our union's national executive vice president. I want to recognize, and I want you to join me here this afternoon in recognizing our dear brother and comrade, Comrade Ernesto Kiza. And Comrade Kiza will be making some announcements a bit later on into my presentation. Some announcements that I think most of us are here for.
Yeah, man.
But let me say, before I say anything else, I also want to recognize comrades from the Pointe Pierre branch, who work assiduously, work seamlessly, tirelessly, as if that refinery was running every day of the 7 years that gone by. I want to recognize Comrade Jackman. I want to also recognize Comrade Jackman and the names that I'm about to call, and I don't want to miss any names, unless I will commit a cardinal sin here this afternoon, for their role that they played, the significant role that they played. And you see, we must not underestimate or forget that. We are here today, standing here, about to announce what we are going to announce on the basis of things that were done by certain individuals. And so we want to big up those comrades this afternoon and to continue to give them the support. While you were asleep, they were working. While you were partying, they were working. While you were doing whatever else you were doing, they were working.
For sure.
While some of you were cussing them, they were working. And when they work, they brought the results that all of you benefited from. Let's go. For the role that they played in assisting tremendously in bringing home that San Fernando West seat, tipping the scale in the favor of this government. Let us recognize here this afternoon the following. Comrade Christopher Jackman. Comrade Anthony Gobson. Let us recognize Nigel Charles, a.k.a. Sparrow. Let us also recognize Comrade Derek Rousseau. Let us recognize Sister Khalifa Phillip. And let us recognize Sister Debbie Passad. In the Pointe area, not to be left alone, not to leave Comrade Kiza by himself. You had, quite apart from the other persons from the Pointe community supporting Comrade Ernesto Kiza, you had our comrades, our soldiers from the Alphys Workers Trade Union. Let me recognize here and join me in recognizing here the following this afternoon. Comrade Garnet Thompson, President of the Trinidad branch, Nigel White. Sister Crystal Bernard. And of course our comrade, former Trinidad employee, Comrade Shankar Tilak. An assistant Comrade Elder, while also assisting Comrade Kiza, let us recognize Comrade Theo Henry. Comrade Winston Wilson. Comrade Theo Joseph. All of those comrades took the mantra, took the instruction and the oath of the office of officers of this union very seriously when they took office, which is to do all such other things incumbent upon them as loyal trade unionists. Let me also say, that all of those comrades followed to the letter instructions given by the President General of the Alphys. So we want to, this afternoon, thank, before I go any further, all of you that came out here this afternoon. And I'm seeing some faces. And therefore, if I'm talking to my members in a union meeting, I say, happy to see you. Long time no see.
Come on, PG.
But the point was made by the chairman just a while ago that the strength of the union is its members.
That's right.
And all of the sins that you would have committed by omission, not attending meetings, and those of them who are not even here this afternoon, the President General will forgive all your sins.
Oh yeah.
Forgive this.
Oh yeah.
But we want to get the commitment that going forward, we have to, there is no but or maybe, we have to demonstrate the strength and the capacity that we have to be able to command the type of respect that we need to command and to live up to the tradition of the Oilfields Workers Trade Union. And as I said that, we are with a rich tradition building on comrades that would have gone before. And I want to recognize here this afternoon some stalwarts and some retirees who would have braved the burning sun, the midnight darkness, and all of the chemicals, the heat, the pressure, and so on, and to ensure that this refinery and this petrotrim would have survived until it was stabbed in the back and neck by Keith Rowley and his government. Let us recognize the retirees who are with us here this afternoon. Your role is just as important because you handed to us a facility that provided food and a livelihood, not just for your family, but for the national community, Trinidad and Tobago.
Foreign exchange.
So we want to start. Let us begin the journey, a short journey down memory lane, not too far, just 7 short years. 7 years ago, today, Petrotrin was shut down. Never mind what they tell you when they tell you that nonsense. They shut down Petrotrin. Because how else you would account for all of the workers being sent home?
Yes.
And new companies being established without the terms and conditions that the workers once enjoyed.
Yeah.
But the reason for shutting down Petrotrin, all of us know now, and I'm this afternoon without any care for who support PNM. The reason for PNM shutting down Petrotrin was to attack your Oilfields Workers Trade Union. And not just to attack the union, because we have always been under attack as a union. And for what? For speaking the truth to power. For calling a spade whenever we see it. Calling for, and in the interest of the country, attention to certain ills. And so we would have had attack from our country's first Prime Minister, Eric Williams, then Chambers, then who it was? A.N.R. Robinson, and then Comrade Pandey, and then who again? Manning, and then
The boss.
and then
The boss. Come
That's a normal thing. Because very often, our ideology, our philosophy comes into conflict with various governments. But never before, comrades, there's ever been such a blistering attack, not just to attack the OWTU, but to destroy the Oilfields Workers Oilfields Workers Trade Union, coming from Keith Rowley and that PNM. And for that this afternoon, I want to say that we will not only not forget, we will never ever forgive you and your party for that. We will never forgive you, Keith Rowley. We will never forgive you and the PNM, you and Imbert, you and deceased Lion Khan. You, and he's not just lying because he lying down, because he dead, you know. The most amount of lies any individual could have spoken in the history of this country. Franklin Khan spoke that while smiling.
This is.
Franklin Khan. The other one, short midget man.
This is.
And Imbert. And the next one,
Yeah.
Stuart Young.
All this is.
There's only misinformation they peddle to the population, demonizing the Petrotrin workers, ungratefulness to the highest, demonizing those who would have put bread on the table for Trinidad and Tobago,
Themselves.
just to satisfy their agenda. And so the country suffered. Foreign exchange. not just loss of jobs for the 5,000, both permanent and casual and temporary workers, all of the service providers, all of the communities stretching far as from the Shagonas back down to the southwestern peninsula, the entire part of the country and the country by extension suffered as a result of that. And you know what? It is only when individuals, people begin to feel the crunch, then they recognize what we were saying. Then they recognize we are saying that it will be not just bad for the workers, but it will be bad for Trinidad and Tobago to shut down this country. But that fella and those people did not care. Just to get at one union, you make the entire country suffer. And we must never forget that. We didn't forget it.
Okay.
And therefore we took the position, just as our third President General would have said, that those who seek to destroy the Alphys Workers' Trade Union will only end up destroying themselves. And so said, so done. While they attack us, we prayed and we struggled.
Yes.
While they bad-talk us, we prayed and we struggled.
Yes.
While they send their guns on the social media and so on to attack us, we said our prayers and we struggled. And we struggle outwardly, we struggle inwardly, and Almighty God is a good God. And God said that the Alphys Workers' Trade Union and its members do not deserve the type of attack and the attempt to destroy it. And therefore, on April the 28th, the night of April the 28th, very early in that night, if you all can remember, he had absolutely no choice.
Very early in the morning, boy.
But to concede. Yeah? And I often make the observation that somewhere in the world, on April the 28th, some country in the world suffer. Somebody suffer somewhere else. Because God could not have, he left attending to all the business elsewhere, and he came here to right that wrong. And so today it's important that we understand not only that we are here, and we are here to accept certain announcements, but why it happened, and what was responsible for the change. I am observing them, all of them in the parliament now, somewhat, 13 of them. 13 of them. And that's 13 too much still, of them in the parliament, raising all kinds of issues. Could you imagine Pierre talking on behalf of workers? All kinds of issues to change your focus. All kinds of attacks and so on. All the things they should have said while they were in government, they have now found a voice to say. All of them stood silent and subscribed politically to the Costa Nostra Mafia Code of Silence, while Rowley destroyed this country, while Rowley attacked OWTU and Trinidad and Tobago, and while he beholden unto himself big pension. And as I talk about that, I cannot escape mentioning, while your medical plan that you got as a part of your term and condition of work, remember that, nobody gave you that. It is your union that negotiated medical plan for you.
Fight for that. Fight for that.
Even though the PNM inside the OWTU members who had a little contract here and a CPEP contract there, yes, it had that too. Were against us, they too lost their medical plan. But they had no problem joining with Rowley to attack OWTU, while Rowley flew out of the country to enjoy the best medical. Imagine that.
Taxpayers expect.
So what you would have done through your working years and through those who continue to pay taxes in the pension, pay for his medical plan, he took away yours. Absolutely no medical plan. And the last count, it may have been 1,000 plus workers, retirees, died as a result of not being able to access their own medical plan. Let's not forget that. We would have had here with us, and one can argue against this point, but you never know. Had they had the benefit of accessing their medical plan, they would have been here. This is my contention. Most of them would have been here with us here this afternoon. But he took it away. So he denied not just you, he denied the spouses who were entitled to medical plan. Let us do not erase the fire that burned within us when we think about that, Medical plan is part of the preservation of your life. And for those retirees who would have labored long and hard in the refinery and in the producing fields and so on, and who would have suffered occupational diseases and so on as a result of not being able to have the protection back then of a proper Occupational Health and Safety Act to protect workers at work, carrying the pipes on their back and so on through the forest to produce oil, exposing themselves to various chemicals and so on, under serious pressure, under serious temperature, risking their lives, renal failure and so on, heart failure, all kinds of diseases as a result of the work that they performed at Trinidad and Tobago, benefited, that Rowley benefited. While they had the best, they took it away, they snatched it, dragged it away from you, all of you who previously would have enjoyed that as a term and condition of your employment. We must never, ever forget that. Anytime you hear them talking the nonsense, they're talking about workers, none of them, nobody, absolutely nobody came to our rescue while we were under attack. We have to fight for ourselves, man. Nobody. None of them came to our assistance. And I'm hearing this one, San Fernando East, who according to my comrade here, Comrade Elder in the Parliament, and as I say that in the Parliament, let us at this point recognize the significant difference and the contribution that those comrades make in the Parliament. You must know over the other union man. Yeah, you must know. It's different. And what we want to show the rest of Trinidad and Tobago, how to do it. So we're coming for the rest of the PNM constituency come next election. We go put one union man in those constituencies. And as I was saying, as my comrade appropriately said, and that fella, he took a safe seat and turned it into a marginal seat. Yeah. Such is the lack of quality of the individual. And of course, let us not forget the other part of the statement, that himself, Comrade Elder, and Comrade Keyser, they took what was a safe seat from the PNM, and we're going to make that a safe seat. And that fella, Rowley, who know on social media, TikTok now. So you're sure, on a what? On a tall chair. You're sure who is their leader? If it's Rowley, or if it's short both in terms of the time that he spent in office and his stature. Or if it's Imbut or Sister Marva. Nobody sure who is the leader there. Or if it's Sister Penny. There's a grab for leadership there in chaos. And while they're in chaos, it is the Colpot man who represent employers in the court against workers standing up now talking for workers. Imagine that. The Colpot man, the man who say you should ride bicycle and cook on Colpot and so on. While he ride in wherever he ride on.
Why get right?
I didn't say that. I didn't, they want to sue. They like to sue. Yeah. All of them feathered their nests while they destroyed the fabric of Trinidad and Tobago, and in so doing, of course, took away your benefit. Who benefited? Yeah. Who benefited from the lack of foreign exchange in this country? Yeah. This country lost, and I'm going to just go to a couple of figures, because when we are dealing with the media, we want to quote the figures correctly. And we want you to carry it correctly. Yeah. And I see why the media is, certain members of the media, making confusion now and trying to push Bacchanal and couture with the trade union movement. When I'm about to close, I'm going to make a statement on that particular issue. Yeah? On that particular issue. We 10% and so on. But back to us here. We suffered. We suffered and we suffered.
7 long years.
7 long, hard years. And this evening, I am happy that we did not give up. Giving up is not an option for the peace workers. And that is why the fellow said, he said, and misinformation again, he said we give them a stadium in Pointe, he's talking about.
Yeah, imagine that.
We give them a hospital, and that is not true, he didn't give them that. We give them a highway, which highway not finished, they couldn't finish it, and he didn't do it, that. And he can't understand how we give them all of them things, and they still go and vote for the UNC. When I want to tell him that he attacked the Oil Fields Workers Trade Union, and the Oil Fields Workers Trade Union sent the best candidate ever in Pointe to take away that seat. That's why you need to understand. It's the horn he couldn't take. He can't understand it. And perhaps he will never understand it. So, this country, comrades, this country, may I remind Trinidad and Tobago, through the medium of the media this afternoon, that this country, over the last 7 years, with the closure of Petrotrin and the shutting down of the refinery, the shutting down of the ability to exercise our own fuel independence, shutting down of the refinery, spent some 8.5 billion US dollars to import fuel. And I'm seeing where he's talking about don't let them touch Paria. But it's the same Paria that they set up.
No.
That somebody else benefited. Not the workers, not the people, not the country. Where this country was to spend in a situation where foreign exchange is already scarce, 8.5 billion US dollars to import. Let them challenge that. Let them challenge that. And to be exact, 8,516,504,932 US dollars over that period, scarce foreign exchange. And who benefited? Who benefited from the scarce foreign exchange? Paria was one of the highest users of Forex, second by those people who were afforded the scarce foreign exchange while you couldn't get any in the bank. While they're restricting yours, while they're both telling you you're ordering online too much, and so while they're cutting your credit card allocation in half, limiting it, putting pain and suffering on you. People were allowed the access to the scarce foreign exchange, buy cheap from outside, and sell you there here in the malls and so on. That is what it was. And that was the man, those were the people who say the rich must get richer, while poor people will suffer. Never forget that. Never forget that. NIS, National Insurance lose as a result of workers not working, because all of the Petrotrin workers, service providers, contractor employees, everybody connected to the Petrotrin story, the Petrotrin operation, was identified in the highest bracket, paying the NIS weekly and monthly premium. And so NIS would have lost some $2.5 billion as a result of that. And then you had, of course, 25%, well, of course, minus your allowances, 25% of your earnings, PAYE, going to the government. So billions of dollars, any which way you look at it, the shutting down of the country, of the Petrotrin, caused the shutting down almost of the country. And of course, we know what put a stop to that. Let me also say this afternoon lest they forget or try to dance out of it, because they try to make the heritage experience to seem to be something profitable. The barrier to be profitable.
Oil. I like it. Raw life.
With the closure of Petrotrin between 2017, just over 2017, just before the closure to 2024, our country average crude production fell by some 29.1%. Oil production in heritage fell from 31,758 barrels of oil per day in 2017 under Petrotrin to 27,224 barrels in 2024. A sharp decline of some 13% in a situation where you need that oil to provide revenue, foreign exchange. And so, comrades, the atrocity goes on. And in every area of governance, they were really running this place on fumes, you know. They left this place in a mess. In the heritage situation, right now, as we speak, the current board, and of course, the Minister of Energy, the Ministers of Energy, and our Minister of Energy, have to grapple with the serious challenges of a totally neglected infrastructure, both on land and offshore. Platforms falling apart, block stations falling apart, landing stage, bridge to access block stations to ensure that we get the valuable oil that we could get. All of those things were neglected. Repairs and maintenance down the drain under the heritage experience under Keith Rowley and a fella named, what's the fella named, the lawyer fella? Kwamina. Rowley friend. Run down the assets. And so you cannot access those locations. That is what comrades and they are dealing with now. A state of abandonment. Well, of course, not even properly mothballed the refinery. That every day, people cry when they pass and they see the darkness that we have here, where otherwise we would have seen the flame and they're burning. And so, comrades, it took April the 28th, and it took Ernesto Kiza and the new board of heritage to begin to turn around the production in heritage. Stop the decline and point the production in the other direction. Because the Amoko experience, the experience that they had is to just take out and take out and take out. Don't spend any money on infrastructure, no money on repairs and so on, no money on maintenance, and then declare a profit. And so the country paid a price for that. But thank God for Alphys Workers Trade Union, thank God for Ernesto Kiza, thank God for United National Direct, thank God for the Prime Minister who had the vision to include the OWTU in the discussions and in the decision and in the executing of a very forceful campaign to rescue this country from the destruction where it was. So things begin to turn around. Things begin to turn around because we have two ministers in the Ministry of Energy, and let me recognize in his absence, who has been working with us assiduously behind the scene and in front of the scene, the Honorable Rudal Munilal, Minister of Energy. All in effort to make this place a better place. And of course, well, I will leave the announcement for the minister, who would make some announcements along the issue of the refinery and the issue of the medical plan. And I'd come back and I'd talk about a bit about the pension plan and some other things. But let me say, come on. The worst thing you can do to a union as you attack that union, is one, try to decertify the union. Where the union would have gone through a process to be the recognized majority union to represent workers wherever. And through that long process, gain recognized majority union status. The worst thing you can do is to remove recognition from that union. The worst thing you could also do is to remove that union from a workplace.
Sure.
Remove that union from representing workers in the particular sector. And so, when they divided up Petrotrim, after shutting it down into what is now Paria, Heritage, Guaracara Refining, and Guaracara, could you imagine that Guaracara majority union status? So this afternoon, comrades, as we recognize this 7th year, this 7th year is a year of a difference. They say the number 7 is a significant number. Very, very significant number. It's a different 7 years. And when we, not too long from now, when in passing here, light that flare and start back up those plants, begin to produce once again fuel for this country and export. It will be one of the greatest days since independence in '62 for Trinidad and West. And that is coming. And so to make those announcements here this evening, I want to call on, permit me and join me in welcoming to the microphone in this 7th year of shutdown, this 7th year of suffering to Trinidad and Tobago by Keith Rowley and his government.
Wicked.
But on the 7th year, rescue mission started. Join me in welcoming Comrade Ernesto Kiza to the microphone.
And those who live a holy range of power. And those who live a holy range of power. And those who live a holy range of power. Oh, I would like to be in the number. When those who live a holy range of power. When those who live a range of power. When those who live a holy range of power, oh, I would like to be in the number. When those who live a holy range of power. Comrades all.
Yes.
Comrades all.
Yes.
Greetings in the wonderful name of Almighty God and His Son. First and foremost, because without God, we are nothing.
True.
And with God, we can achieve everything. So give God the glory, brothers and sisters.
Hallelujah.
Second of all, I want us to recognize this giant.
True.
This giant. This Comrade Ansel George Roger. That's the king.
Out of righteousness.
To my parliamentary colleague, but more than that, my comrade,
Yeah.
friend,
Yes, man.
Comrade Clyde, Elder, Minister on the Ministry of Public Utilities, and Member of Parliament for the constituency of Labour. Again, big title, Deputy Mayor, Councillor of Cedras, but again, my comrade and friend, Brother Shankar Tilak Singh. And if you remiss of me, he wears many hats. Some call him Kiza, some call me Ozzy. But comrades, I want us to recognize the extremely hardworking, extremely the master, Comrade Ozzy. I don't want to call his full name. Comrade Ozzy Warwick, General Secretary of the Time Trade Union Movement, Chief Education Officer of the Oilfields Workers Trade Union, and Treasurer of the Oilfields Workers Trade Union. I want to also recognize the chairman of this proceedings, Comrade. Again, he have plenty big title. Director on the Paria board. President of the Pointe Pierre branch OWTU. And again, my comrade and friend, Comrade Christopher Jackman. To all of the retirees, those comrades. Now, all of us is retirees and fireys, but I'm talking about the comrades. I've seen them in front of me here, I've seen them at the side here, who held our hands as young officers, held our hands as young workers. I've seen them, I've seen some of them, Comrade Tang, Comrade Walker, right? Some of them I can't even remember the name, but they here comrades. I've seen the comrade here. Comrades, let us have respect for these comrades who we stand on their shoulders and they pave the way. To all the retired comrades who are still here with us, comrades, we need to pay our respect. And to all of the branch presidents, all of the executive officers, all of the other units, I've seen Tiantec, I've seen Nestle, I've seen UE, well, those who are seen, yes? And to all of the other units that are here, please let us acknowledge them. Thank you for coming out, here. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. To the members of the media, thank you. Thank you for coming out. I've seen some familiar faces. I hope we get a good review. I hope. And maybe reach the editors and them, but thank you. To the social media activists and so on, thank you. And finally, Petro train workers! You see, comrades, I've said it in the parliament, and I will continue to say it. I spent 25 years in the oil field, from casual, temporary, to permanent, to supervisor, to executive officer, president, to labor relations officer, and then having a little experience in the court and so on. And then now, by the will of the workers and the will of the Almighty God, I am now a member of parliament. Yes. So we come through the fire, comrades, and now we still have a lot of work to do. Comrades, the announcements, as the President General put it, is not announcements and comrades. It's things that, as we chip away at the prison, the catastrophe that was created by the People's National Movement under the leadership of that fella from Tobago. I say Tobago deliberately, comrades, because they're still trying to malign Brother Farley and them, because election coming next month. And that I stand in support of all of the brothers and sisters who support Farley, Augustus, and Tobago. Yes. But it's like they cannot deal with the fact. And before I continue, members of the media, before I continue, members who came here for a union meeting, I want to say, if you didn't come here to hear politics, then
Back up.
Because this union is the union that taught every political party, former and current, about politics. This union has the history. So, I lay in the ground, brothers and sisters. Okay. So that I'm saying this to say, we did what we had to do, but that it is far from over, comrades. Far from over. We have lost close to 1,130 something persons. And why I could quote these figures, and I'm quoting these figures for a fella from somewhere down so. He named man Brandon Hanning. Fella always talking a set of strange things in the people parliament. He never on point. Always strange guy, strange. But I'm learning. I'm sure he didn't learn that. He didn't learn that at all. He's not from Pointe. I'm sure about that. But I'm calling, the reason why I can call these figures and quote my sources because, comrades, as most of you all will know, the President General took a chance and he put me, little experience at the time, and said, Kiza, you are the and all them petroleum matters. I remember retirees, some of them who was more in love with the PNM than their own benefits. Yeah? Saying publicly on radio programs that the union lying. It had no matters before the court. Don't you remember that, comrades? No matter before the court and we lie. Remember that?
Yes, comrade.
And how Kiza thing and Kiza is just one a Roger boy and he lie. But comrades, I stand here today, not in a me feeling no how we no comrades. I stand here today because not in anger. Yes? I stand here today because the only thing you have to do is to born and to die.
Amen.
And that in life, brothers and sisters, you have to take a position and stick with your position. You have to believe in your position and run it regardless of what. Stick to it. And comrades, because there was a few of us that believe that this thing, weeping may endure for the night, but joy must come in the morning. Must come. And we believe, brothers and sisters, we believe. And this is what happened here now.
Preacher.
This is what happened here now. And I'm saying, some of us believe that a magic bullet, that from the time April 28th happened, everything you'll see flowers and berries. No, brothers and sisters, no, it don't work so. Politics don't work like that, brothers. And you see, some of the propaganda that is being spread. Oh, are they winning yet? You see, brothers and sisters, let me give you an example. Just before April 28th, these people awarded contracts, renewed contracts, knowing fully well that all of the funding at that time had finished because we were coming close to the end of the fiscal. And that you call elections on April 28th, knowing fully well that you knew you wasn't going to win. You know that. But you encumbered state resources. And that now, this government, we have to now find and make sure we have resources to pay all these contractors that you hired. Yes? Millions of dollars. So when a certain fella gone down Pointe and talking about, look at this center, it's in open, foster in a pack of nonsense, brothers and sisters. But that same center, they have not paid the contractors. We have to pay them now. We have to pay. They didn't pay them. The contractors and them now have to be coming to this government for the money. They work and they had to be paid. At the end of the day, when Mr. Shortman stand up in the parliament and say, and he do so, they knew exactly what they did. They knew, so that when they come to the parliament and playing sanctimonious and talking about this and with this, it's because they thought that our Prime Minister, Mrs. Kamla Prasad Bisesa, SC, MP, would have capitulate. They thought, well, she will say, well, we will do. No, she has stood strong. And she has continued to stand strong, leading this country, brothers and sisters. And don't worry, I am not worried. I notice, comrades, I don't talk out of time in and out of turn. Every time I decide to address a public forum is because I make sure everything line up. I make sure if you call somebody, yeah, you say that? So they say, yes, I say that. I make sure that I get my approvals because, brothers, let me tell you, listen. We have to alter this country so that the people of this country finally, in the main, could benefit from the wealth and the resources of this country. And to do that, we have to stay in this political game. Stay here and run it through. Stick it out and make sure that the workers, the voters that put Comrade Ella and myself here, that we make sure that we do all things necessary or all things incumbent upon us as loyal trade unionists to make sure that people get a better quality of life. We are already behind because of what was done 7 years ago. What comments? I ain't taking that note from my back pocket, so. So, in keeping with ongoing discussions, in keeping with your President General, our President General, continuing to work closely with our Prime Minister, continuing to consult and to work closely with my Minister, your Minister, our Minister of Energy, the Honorable Dr. Rudal Munilal, the following moves has been or are in place at this time. First of all, you remember this lottery that was having every time an election call? Yeah. Local election, a lottery. Yeah. For the land. General election, a lottery. 2023, local election, a next lottery. You remember that? And they told you that only people who have property and that kind of thing
first time owner
could apply.
Yeah,
let me bring some information. Before I say what I have to say, let me bring some information first. And that is for the man in the east. Yeah, the one who does talk, who does bend light and all this other nonsense. That is for he. So let me bring the information. Right? Okay. According to my information, a report is from the company. 2,814 former Petrotrin workers applied to the LSA lottery, right? During the period, that's right after they went home. Good? Out of that, only 238 persons have been given a commitment from the lottery. Because it had 3 lottery, and those 238 persons have been given a commitment. And if there's anyone here who receive a deed, pop your hand. Nobody get a deed yet? No. Just I get a deed?
Just a letter, comrade, just a letter.
You get a letter saying a letter of commitment.
Yes.
Right. So that commitment will be honored. But is the property that they showed you, this property it cut up, it have infrastructure and thing?
They never show you nothing, comrade.
Right. Okay, good. Thank you, comrade. So you answer me. Thank you, comrade.
I am a letter, so I'm hiding that.
Thank you, comrade. Thank you. Good. That's the thing they can't deal with OWT, you know, comrade.
Factual truth.
Can't deal with truth.
Yeah.
So, again, for the fella in the east, not east or southeast, love. Yes.
Properly.
Of respect them. Mr. Ali Bukas, Maka.
Yeah, man.
Enough respect, Maka.
How we boy?
Doing some excellent work, man.
Yeah, man.
But that's a scrolling through because there's this challenge as to accept how many people was sent home from the company. We're not talking contractors. If we talk contractors, the figure will get ridiculous. But I am quoting here from the company's figures. Okay. According to the company, 4,855 persons receive what is called, what them calling termination package, and what we call a kind of surreptitious severance package. But throw your mind back, and there's an ad that could have led back to this year, whereby a clip came where some 1,100 casual temporary workers went over nothing. All remember that?
True.
And it was a Guardian article. Yes? Right. So do the maths. How much is that? 1,100 plus 4,853. How much is that? That's 5,900. Right. What do you remember in Parliament? I said over 5,900 persons. Yeah? Well, let's see it now. So that's for the light man. Right? Right. Can't even play basketball. Anyway, nobody can see from there. Now, comrades. Now to the announcement. Petrotrin, at the time, and it still do, would have had 76,000 acres of land. And talking land in terms of on the land, because I don't think anybody wants to go and live offshore. I don't think so, right? Right. So that I have been instructed by my line minister in the first case, and then following a meeting that came out between our Honorable Prime Minister and Comrade PG, Comrade Ozzy and myself, on or around the 20th of November, I have been instructed to prepare a report that would encompass all permanent, casual, and temporary workers and staff, including, before I clap, I want us to listen because I want the media to get exactly what I said. It was, I don't like all the set of bacchanal and quoting. Don't quote me wrong. I wanted to take on it. So don't clap yet. Listen exactly what I'm saying, please. I have been instructed, listen, me, Ernesto, this little fella here, with the big belly. I've been instructed by my line minister, and he would have done that even before the meeting. And that instruction was further concretized at our meeting dated on around the 20th of this month, November, by our Honorable Prime Minister, to prepare a report for the perusal of the Cabinet of Trinidad and Tobago that will encompass all of the workers of Petrotrin, all, permanent, casual, temporary, for consideration. Listen to my words carefully, eh? For consideration and approval when necessary by the Cabinet of Trinidad and Tobago to be given the land that was committed to you. No. Hold on. Obviously, the 238 persons will be part of that because they have already been allocated. Good. And obviously, it will take into consideration, of course, where the land is located, the capacity, all of the different facilities and so on. But I have been given that responsibility to prepare that report, right? and for the benefit of the media and for the mischief makers who use the media, I have been instructed to prepare the report, including the minutes of the meeting, because there are cameras around here who are around the table with Wilfred Bololo Lespine when that proposal was made by our President General. And the proposal was accepted when he said, yeah, all you could get the land, but that is all. All you ain't getting no severance. And we said, no. That has nothing to do with that. He said, well, okay, put it in writing. And the union placed it in writing. So we have all those documents in our possession, brothers and sisters, and I will facilitate and furnish them to the Cabinet of Trinidad and Tobago for the Cabinet to make their decision. Well, understand. Listen carefully, yeah? Very well. Careful. Secondly, I know they're real quiet, brother. Listen to me.
Yeah. You follow the instructions. You follow the instructions. You say your son.
Thank you. On the issue of successorship. Listen to me carefully. In 1993, when in all the different sectors that would have been Trinidad, Tesoro, so on and so on, would have come together by an act of parliament and would have formed the company called Petro Trade. In that time, the then President General of the Union, Comrade Harold K. MacLeod, together with the executive, would have had to file industrial relations, not offenses, well, trade disputes for the issue of successorship. The matter went, and the court ruled that it was really a non-issue. So they sat down with the company, and the company and the union would have, and in 1994, and they could quote, make it go back because it's in the records of the court, the trade disputes and so on. Yes? And the judgment, I think it's 6, 7, 8, and 9 of 1994. Right? Obviously, I still remember, I still understood, right? And the judgment is there, and the union and the company sat down, and it was agreed. So that is how the OWTU had successorship during that time. The difference with this time now, and I want to thank our Prime Minister. You see, brothers and sisters, I listen, eh? You see our Prime Minister right now, I love she too bad. I love how she operating. I love that type of decision. Man. I mean, I love listening, man. I love big up that lady. Big up that lady. Big she up there. Listen, man. Because of what has happened, and let us remember, you see, providing the context, let's remember IRO 35 of 2018. We went to the industrial court. We won the IRO. They appealed the IRO. That appeal was heard in April of 2022. Right? No, 24, not 24, sorry. Yes, it was scheduled to be heard in 2020. And it came up, and it was heard in April of 2024. Judgment was reserved for the appeal court. We were present, it was virtual, and we thought it was an excellent, our lawyers did well. Yes. Lo and behold, right after the general elections, brothers and sisters, right after, the judgment came out in the favor of the state. So they overturned our industrial relations offense. Right? Now, immediately, the union did the next best thing. They filed to have the matter to be heard at the Privy Council. Up the road. Because that is still, it is what it is. Recently, I have been informed that the lawyers representing the company objected to the union filing, the matter to the appeal court. To the Privy Council, sorry. Now, I'm not going to make any statement about the company's lawyers for now, because of obviously where I sit. And whoever is here, for the listening what I say. So that as it relates to successorship, through our honorable comrade and friend, Honorable Minister of Labour, Comrade Leroy Batiste, he has been advised to pilot a motion through the cabinet and then through the parliament, of course, and that will involve the Attorney General, of course, to have the cabinet approve, well, consider first, and after consider, approve, if after they consider they believe so, yes, the successorship of the OWTU to all of the 5 areas in what is now called. No, brothers and sisters. Listen, my words is very careful because I'm saying I want to make sure and say things because I don't want the people who represent the workers of the media, because none of these workers here who are there representing the media houses, they wouldn't misrepresent me. No, they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do that. They would not do that. But that because I understand a little bit now being in government, I have to make sure that my words are careful so that because the cabinet has to consider, they must do that. The cabinet must consider. Okay? And if in their consideration they believe they can approve, well then fine. But we have to understand what that is and allow the government to do its work, brothers and sisters. Okay? We clear? Finally, this one, I really thought that it could have been much more, but given the circumstance, given the fact that we are, that I say, I mean, I can't take all the union, take what I mean at all.
No, yeah.
The union is pursuing a matter before the Privy Council with IR 35, so that may help with, once you all are successful. But in the meantime, because remember, the union still have matters that are before the industrial court, still, right? But in the meantime, out of the cooperation and by instruction, line minister, Dr. the Honorable Rudal Munilal would have instructed his minister in the ministry, say Minister Kiza, go down to Pointe, Pierre, do an inspection of these medical centers. Check out, say, I'll tell him myself, Minister, we have Guacara, we had Santa Flora, we had Pinal, we had Trinma. I say, but, and Forest Reserve. He say, Minister Kiza, I know you probably want all, but we can't do all one time. We can't do that because of how the state of the place and how they have configured the entire company. There are some legal ramifications that we have to do. But in the meantime, as in preparation, let's look at what might be the most, well, let me say quick win, if we have to go through to any lengths and widths. I said, all right, Minister, let's look at maybe Guacara and Santa Flora for now. Because strange enough, Trinma, and I've seen some Trinma comrades here, we still have to return the main office back to the Ministry of Energy. Yeah. Because the last administration took the Petrotrin main office, gutted it, destroyed it, and said they want to make it a one-stop shop for all the government services, right? The first place they mash up is the medical center. And you know, brothers and sisters, some persons who support that group, they didn't find nothing wrong with that.
Come on, take.
They mash up the medical center, mash it up, completely got it. We don't know where all the equipment gone to, nobody knows, right? And if you go down to Pointe 410 now, it's just a big dark, big white building, grass growing and so on, because at the end of the day, we do not have that view. It is our desire, both the Honorable Minister and myself, and by extension the government, to return Trinidad and Tobago as the energy hub of the Caribbean. And because of that, we took a decision very early. We want back the main office. We need to put back the heritage logo and make that office a hub in South for energy. So that we have already made the necessary instructions to have the office, the building itself, return to the Ministry of Energy so that we can continue to do the work as we rebuild, as this man said that, brick by brick, yeah? Rebuild the energy industry brick by brick. So that we held a preliminary inspection of the Guacara Medical Facility, and brothers and sisters, the Guacara Medical Facility, the building is strong, it's structurally strong. And that's a fun fact, all of your medical records are still there, even though you receive copies of it. Every worker who would have passed through, all of your medical records are still there, because they kept a copy because of law that they keep, they have a certain time that they keep. So your medical records are still there, which would include your dependents and so on, it's still there. And that in going through, brothers and sisters, some work could be done in a particular length of time to restore that Guacara Medical Facility. We went to Santa Flora. Santa Flora wasn't as sound as Guacara. The place was vandalized, all the doors were removed, the windows were removed. The center itself is strong, is structurally strong, but it has a lot of work to do. Where am I going with all of this? Brothers and sisters, it is the commitment of the government of Trinidad and Tobago and led by our Prime Minister, Mrs. Kamla Persad-Bissessar, SCMP, to sit with the stakeholders, which will be Heritage, Petrotrail Legacy, the Ministry of Health, and also the OWTU, and to come up with, in the shortest possible time, a clear plan to have these centers reopen, and we're hoping within the next 6 months open, and again media, put open, in front of my own space, put open, we're hoping within the next 6 months to have these centers reopen and accessible to Petrotrail workers and their families.
Very good.
Now, in closing, President and in closing, Chairman, and that's it for announcements. I ain't talking, although I'm talking about the refinery. I can only talk what I'm advised. You see, comrades, all in are setting me up and I lost my work twice already. I kind of feel like I make me lost my work again. Nevertheless, but to be more on a more serious note, right? I've been advised that this upcoming weekend, this week, the final report will be forwarded to the cabinet, and that the OWTU, this is my advice, the OWTU remains a key partner in the refinery restart process.
Amen.
I must say that again in case I was opening your fridge. I say that. You see, I know there are those, they want evil rather than good.
Yeah.
You can imagine, brothers and sisters, there are persons in this country who don't want this refinery to reopen.
Come on.
I'm telling you,
Right here too. Some members who
you can imagine,
right here.
there may be OW, who knows, persons who used to be former workers, they don't want this refinery to open back up. You can imagine there are persons that don't want those offshore locations to be repaired so that there are no more oil spills and so on. You can imagine, brothers and sisters, and this is a fact, one of the first set of things that the board had to deal with when they came into office, when they were appointed, is to deal with work from home. Brothers and sisters, you have senior managers, top persons all over the place, working from in Port of Spain, Queen's Park West, and working from their house, and they want to come to work, right? And saying that, well, you know, we operating remote, but comrades, we are oil workers, and I was there, an oil worker till I die. You have to be there. It's not no remote control, and that is why we are suffering today, because they were off the job. A whole lot of them. They were off the job. And that is the legacy of the PNM, off the job. Yes? That's why on the 20th of April this year they are off the job, no more. And that they encourage a type of malfeasance, a type of nonsense, a whole different type of culture that was not the best fit to run these operations. Hence the reason what we are suffering today. Hence the reasons, and I want to continue to lend the support and the baby salute to the Paria divers, Paria 4. Yes, please, let's give them that respect. Good, because people died, brothers and sisters. People got injured, severely injured, because of the approach to the oil field that was taken by Keith Rowley and his people. And brothers and sisters, before I leave, I'm not a lawyer by profession. I know a little bit of the law, but I'm not a lawyer. And I respect everybody who are lawyers, because I know to be a lawyer is a real serious commitment. You have to have a lot of retention, research, and so on. But you also have to know the law inside out.
Sure.
But you see, brothers and sisters, there must be something, you know. There must be something in our law, or international law, that will hold Mr. Keith Rowley,
Yeah.
and all of these people who made the worst economic decision ever. There must be something to hold them accountable. Other than a commission of inquiry, there must be. If there's anything I want the media to carry, is that. And that as I continue to grow with this journey in Parliament, I'm going to find a way. Mr. Rowley and his team, they have to be held accountable to this country. Have to be held accountable. As I say, brothers and sisters, some might say, well, the only thing we have is to talk. Brothers and sisters, we spent 7 years suffering. Persons who work in the company from 2019 to April 27th, 2025, were made to feel inferior.
Sure.
Were made to feel that all your experience didn't count. Were made to feel that you're dunce. Were made to feel that you never went to school, that your degree or your technician diploma and your years of experience in the refinery, in the main office, in Santa Flora, in Penal, in Barrack Point, Trinma, was nothing.
Sure.
Because they attempted to restructure and to rebuild a company within an existing company.
Sure.
What has happened now? All of the things that they did not want to do to raise production, they have to be doing it now. All because there's one little shift in it. One little shift, and that shift was a political. It took to move the whole government just to move production by 2000 and something barrels. All understand this thing? To increase production. And that just before I leave, Heritage sells the oil, gets the US dollars, and gives that US dollars to Pierre, for Pierre to buy fuel to give to the country and to sell to the regional markets and so on. Brothers and sisters, the business people that are among us here, you tell me how that making sense.
Yeah.
And you have heard newspaper reports where the former chairman, Mr. Newman George, would have gone on the media at least twice, asking the Minister of Finance to provide them with the money to buy fuel. All you remember that?
Yes,
Right? And again, I don't talk anything that I can't back up. So media, I know all in. I'm saying this to say that model, brothers and sisters, is why this country has suffered. That refinery alone, it brought us revenue, just gross revenue alone, in excess of 20 to 21 billion Trinidad and Tobago dollars. These are not my figures. You could go back and do the research on all of Petrotrin's statements. But as an integrated company, brothers and sisters, it was able to ride through all the different stuff. The loans that they talk about, all those things, and those loans have been restructured, brothers and sisters. All what they say that the whole sky going to fall and everybody going to dead have gone. In addition to that, brothers and sisters, I want to clear the air on this one time. I heard Mr. Rowley talk about the country was buying, had to buy oil. Mister, it seems like the only geology that you know are the rocks in your head. Because the country always had to buy oil. From the time the refinery opened to when you close it. The appetite of the refinery, and I'm standing here among refinery gurus, giants. So if I'm talking nonsense, it's bottling material. Wouldn't? The appetite of the refinery, brothers and sisters, was always local crude combined and blended with the foreign crude, sometimes they call it the molo crude, that provided the best appetite for the refinery. Comrades, are correct? So let us set this record straight. Mr. Rowley, Mr. Grupp, former, wherever you are, stop telling untruth, lies, and foolishness. Because it's either whoever gave you that brief, you and them join from the hip, and you can't listen nothing else, or you just can't shift from a foolish position that you took that has caused this country serious economic hardship. Stop it, Mr. Rob. Stop it. And to the press, do your research. Let me say it again. To the members of the media, I love all them. I love all because everybody here who I say have been very, very loyal and have conducted their work diligently over there. I know all of you. But to your editors, do your research and stop these untruths, half-truths, innuendos, things that are a matter of fact. Let it be a matter of fact. Let's stop that nonsense. Oil and gas is still the major export revenue, major revenue in this country. It is still that. And that we have to now quickly, thank God that this government has a lot of people around the government and in the government that know how to run oil fields, and know how to deal with oil and gas, and know how to raise revenue and raise production. And that, just to say it, our minister alone, the amount of calls, all of the attraction, so many people are interested in investing in Trinidad and Tobago. I'm saying, media, please, I'm asking you all kindly, let us have a balanced report and do your research. Always had to buy oil for the refinery. Always. And it was never a problem before. So that could never be the reason why you shut down the refinery. You shut it down so bold and brash face. Very good. You shut it down to save for some other reason. And as I close, brothers and sisters, I do hope the little announcements could continue to bring hope, because it is only through hope and through us sticking to our agenda, workers' agenda, to make sure that the workers, voters in this country are able to get a balanced piece and a better share. Not like, well, I'll give to you. I have no problem with the rich. When we give to the rich, they will provide opportunities for the poor. That's your stance, no problem, that's fine. You say, that is what you say. Okay, fine. No, but I'm saying, we, on the other hand, there must be balance in this society. Sure. Okay? So I am calling on all stakeholders in Trinidad and Tobago. Let us move in a particular direction to restore our country back to prominence, particularly in the energy sector. Comrade President General, I thank you. Comrades all, I thank you. Comrades all, as we continue forward ever, backward never, forward ever, forward ever. May Almighty God bless, guide, and keep you all safe.
Yes, comrades.
All right. The minister was very careful, and understandably so, in bringing these announcements for you here this afternoon. And so he does not have the latitude that the President General of the OWT would have in the way in which we interpret those announcements. based on our conversations and involvement. And so because none of those announcements has yet been materialized, I understand the carefulness with which the minister, and the responsibleness with which he delivered that. And I don't want the minister to be misquoted. Right? So let us all try together and thank the minister, MP, for this very important announcement. But here's how the OWTU interpret what has just been said. And our interpretation to become reality has to be on the basis of the continued commitment and support of all of you. So you can't just stay home and wait, but when we call, we want the appropriate response. Right? So here's how we interpret it. Based on all of the discussions, the unfair removal of this medical plan from the petrotrain workers that caused some over 1,000 deaths, that unfairness will be changed by the next, how much months is that? 6 months? In about 6 months' time. Yeah? He said hopefully, and he was very careful. So when you quote me correctly by saying we interpret by 6 months' time, or perhaps even less, we will have the beginning of returning to our medical. And of course, beginning by getting access to those 2 facilities, starting with those 2 facilities. All right? So, right. That's one. The other one. The land. He was correct again. And he was there, he was present. It was always the OWTU's position. Just as the Caroni workers would have received land in the closure of Caroni 1975 Limited, that if you're closing down the company, and they did do that, that every single worker, casual, temporary, permanent, every worker on the payroll at that point in time must receive a piece of petrotrain land. I said it up at Bomadil. And it took the change, the removal of a government with a very caring, the Honorable Prime Minister, Mrs. Kamala Prasad Bisesa, to revisit that agreement that we had. Yeah? And so finally, it's a little lottery. Finally, it is our expectation that when the dust has been settled and that issue has been properly resolved, every single worker who was working in petrotrain at the point in time will be afforded a piece of land. Yeah? The issue of successorship. Well, I explained earlier on what they attempted to do. It was buttressed by what the minister said and the work that they are currently doing. It is the expectation that what? That very soon, that issue of successorship will no longer be an issue, and that the OWTU will go back to its rightful place, representing workers in Paria, Heritage, but fundamentally to that point, what they did, what the PLN did, is to try to remove the Oilfields Workers Trade Union from the oil field. And it take a UNC Prime Minister in the name of the Honorable Kamala Prasad Bisesa, we expect, that will right that wrong and put the OWTU back in the oil field. Well, in terms of the refinery, the big one, the refinery, it was wrong. Everybody knew that, including him. And he's coming out batting for somebody, which is why he's talking about don't sell Paria, said that foolishness in social media. And Comrade MP, Comrade Kiza made the point, Comrade Minister made the point, that we always, from since Texaco days, always import oil from Russia, from even Venezuela, from Nigeria, all over the place. So it's not true. But in terms of the refinery, that report will be submitted, final report will be submitted this week. And it is our information, intention, willingness, want-to-ness, everything good, that when that report has been finally submitted, it is our intention to accept what has been said on the campaign trail, what has been the commitment that was given, and what the minister just announced, that the OWTO will play an important part in the restart. And when the UNC win, but when the OWTO win and that refinery restart, workers and the petroleum workers are going to win again. They demonize you. Too much. Man lie, you say a carpenter getting $40,000 and so on, and people believe that. A cleaner getting Wototo money and people believe that, demonize you. But the minister just reported that what? That the heritage people who receiving big money, some of them don't even know which one heritage office is. And all of them getting bonus, bonus, production falling. But heritage people who denigrate the petrotrin worker, you can't get a work nowhere because anytime you say you work in petrotrin, they don't want to employ you because former Prime Minister and the PNM government denigrate the petrotrin workers just to shut down the company. And so the people who replace them in heritage don't even know what heritage is, working from all over the place. When they tell them they have to come to work, instruct them to come to work, some of them couldn't even find the office, they had to resign. But still demanding big bonus, big yearly bonus, secretly, while they denigrated us. Well, all of that has to come to an end.
Well, no.
I have always said, comrades, that evil has a shelf life. Evil has an expiry date. And all that is evil cannot last forever. Good will conquer evil. And on the 28th of April this year, the good came in and the evil was vanished. So we're going to make good on all of the commitment. We are prepared to work with this government. And I want to say boldly here this afternoon, this evening here, I want us to make it quite clear. I see where they are attacking my comrade. Where the PNM media is trying desperately to attack my comrades. First, they are trying to trivialize the victory, the commitment that was given and the commitment that was realized a couple days ago, sometime last week I think it was, where our sister, the president of the Public Services Association, Sister Felicia Summers, where she would have secured the 10% that was committed to. But you know the PNM like that at all. So they're attacking that. And that how it is 111 and all kinds of nonsense. This evening I want to say boldly, the OWTO stands resolutely with the PSA and its president. And I see where they are attacking our comrade, the PNM media again, and certain people attacking our comrade Clyde Elder. Comrade Elder, who was sent on a mission to ensure that the workers' agenda is accepted and implemented, not just accepted, but implemented, to be part of that implementation process. Because that workers' agenda has benefit for all workers in this country. Everybody will benefit from that. And that workers' agenda was crafted together with years of discussion with the Honorable Prime Minister, then leader of the opposition. And therefore, we campaigned, the union campaigned. This union, your President General, campaigned on the basis of the workers' agenda where workers will benefit. And that mission is being executed by both Comrade Kiza and Comrade Elder right now. But I see where they are attacking the Comrade Elder. I want to say this evening to all, anybody, whether that person be a regional prime minister, from CARICOM, who just lost at the polls, rightfully so, who want to attack our Prime Minister or any other Prime Minister in the region, attacking our Prime Minister and our government, a government that we are a part of, we will defend our government fearlessly. Fearlessly. Not only defend, we are inside, we have two comrades in the government. And anybody, whether that person be from external or internal, or that person be a normal citizen or a trade unionist, attacking Comrade Elder, I stand firmly with Comrade Elder and I will deal with it. I am prepared to lead a national campaign against anyone who attack those two comrades or anybody who are trying to destabilize this government and therefore put PNM back in power. We will not allow that at all. We will not allow that at all. Nobody will attack this government of which the trade union, the OWTU, is a part of and get away unscathed. Nobody at all. If defend this time, don't feel you can attack Prime Minister and we can stand by and stay idle. No. That is not going to happen. Don't feel you're going to attack Comrade Elder on social media and so join with the PNM media and then attack the comrade. No. We work too hard.
Yes.
Those comrades work too hard to get rid of the PNM to allow the PNM to come back. And I'm asking this evening, comrades, I'm asking you to stay the course, stay focused. Don't let them come with any nonsense to disrupt your focus. Keep your eyes on the prize, because better days are not coming. Better days are here. Right, man. And let me say it again. Come at me. Any trade unionist, any private citizen, any member of the opposition who attack Comrade Elder, you attack the Oilfields Workers Trade Union. And that's as much I want to say on that. And I'm prepared, and you know how I could defend my position.
True.
Yeah. I'm prepared to do that. Only 2x4, going to wash your mouth on the comrade. No.
On them.
The comrade is correct.
Yes.
And I stand with his correctness by what he says. Yeah? And clap for that. He is correct. And I will ask you to be part of that mission to defend the comrade and to defend this government from any type of attempt to destabilize the government. The only people will benefit from instability in the country right now is the PNM. And we're not about to allow that to happen at all. Okay? All right, finally, and if you didn't read it, good things was said here this evening. Good people say it. But the comrade couldn't be his responsibility. I agree with him. But the OWTU is always interpreting correct, eh? And you know that. All right. Finally, I just want to make an announcement here this evening that as of the 22nd of this month, November, former Prime Minister Keith Christopher Rowley, former, never ever to come back.
Never ever.
Prime Minister, never ever. Yes, and the PNM, none of them in any kind of incarnation would be allowed to return, but serve with a legal notice in the High Court of Trinidad and Tobago, a statement of claim for defamation against the character of the President General of the Oilfields Workers. We tried to find him for about how long? For months we tried to find him. We can't find him. We're looking for him all about. We even was to ask him to pull. if they know which part he is. And finally, on the 22nd, he was served. And what he was served for? We will have a special press conference to deal with this issue. But what he was served for? He was served for the framing defamation of the President General's character on social media on the 22nd of August, I think it was, August 2022. And that issue had to do with the blocking of the road, the highway. Remember that? Yeah. All of those bleeding hearts now, who talking about workers? It was August, and it was in the August holiday. Back then, they shut down the scrap iron industry. And the scrap iron industry workers and their families couldn't get what? Couldn't get anywhere to take care of to provide books and so on, and uniform to send their children to school. They shut down the industry. And who stood in defense of those people? The Alphys Workers Trade Union stood in defense of them and called for the reopening of that industry. So when the road was blocked, you could find nobody else to blame but the President General of the Alphys Workers Trade. I don't even know how to do that. But the President General of the OWTU. And we said that we're not taking that issue lightly. He like to put people in court when they say things wrong about him. Well, let him find his backside in the court and answer this statement of claim, because we're not allowing that issue to go at all. So the PNM people, I will say sorry for you, I'm glad what happened to you, and we had to make sure that you never come back again. Remember, last year, it was last 2 Labor Days, we took the position that we're not going to symbolically call for them to go, but we actually burned them. That's a serious thing, you know. We actually burned the photograph of Keith Rowley, Stuart Young, and Imbud, the 3 people who were leading the charge against the OWTU. And true to form, God answer our prayers and look where they are now. And you see, burning them is important, eh? Because when you bury them, they could come back. And make sure you cremate them. We cremated them on Mosquito Creek. We cremated them in Port of Spain. We cremated them right at the old Paramount building. And so that is the end of the PNM. We must ensure that this country never, ever see the rise of the People's National Movement.